Hello again everyone, we've got another P5JS video today, and what we're going to be looking at today is L systems. Now L systems are a really great way of generating all sorts of stuff. We're going to be looking at specifically this fractal plant example on the Wikipedia page, but if you have a look through the Wikipedia page, there's a whole bunch of different examples that you can try, and you can expand this into, I'm just looking at it in 2 dimensions, but as you can see you can expand it into 3 dimensions, or if you're feeling extra boisterous, you could try 4. But if you want to see how we've done this today, grab yourself a code window and maybe some brain juice. I've got some tea here, and we'll jump into it. I've got a blank P5JS sketch here, and I've also got open the L Systems Wikipedia page, and it's open onto the fractal plant example. So this is the one we're going to try and do today. So the first place to start is understanding what an L system actually is, and it's actually quite straightforward when you look under the hood. So what it is you have a string, a list of characters, and you have some rules that apply to those characters, and to generate the next generation of characters, so the next generation of the L system, you look at every single character in the current list of characters that you've got, and if it matches one of these rules, then in the next generation, you just replace that character with the rule. So in this case, we're starting with the character X, and you can see here in the rule set that X is mapped to this string here, which is quite complex. But in the next generation, the X would be replaced with this. And then in the generation after that, you can see that there's an F here, and we've got a rule that says F becomes 2Fs. So in the next generation, this F would become 2Fs. We'd skip these characters, and then we come to an X, and it would get replaced with this whole string here, and then so on and so on. So you're just simply replacing characters with more characters. So what does that mean in P5? Well, I think what we're going to start with is defining the rule set. So we're going to do that with just a simple object here, and we're going to say that we've got rules for the X, which will map to a string, and we've got rules for F, which will also map to a string. And I think the F maps to FF, and the X maps to something horrible, so I'm going to copy and paste that in, instead of typing it out by hand, and, oh, I got an accidental bracket in there. But so our rule set is already defined, so if we've got an X, it'll map to this string, and if we've got an F, it'll map to this string. So what we'll also need the actual word that we're generating, so I think this one just starts with, yep, just an X character. And then we need some function that will generate the next generation of the L system. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, let the next generation equal an empty string to start with. And right at the end, we're going to say, return the next generation. And then in the middle is where all the magic happens. So what we need to do is we need to loop over every character in our current word. So for let I equals 0, I is less than word.length, I plus plus. And then inside here, we're going to say let C for character equal word I. So this will get the character however far into the loop we are. Then what we want to see is we want to see if the character that we're currently on has a rule for it. So we can just say if C is in our rules, then what we want to do is we want to add whatever is in the rule set to the next generation. So next plus equals rules C. And so C is just the index into this rule. So if it's X, it'll return this, and if it's F, it'll return this. And then if we're not in the rules, what we want to do is we just want to add whatever character we're at into the next generation. So in this L system, what that means is, I think the plus and minus and the brackets, they don't have any rules for them. We've only got rules for the X and the F. So these just get carried forward into the next generation. So I think that's it for generating the next generation of the L system. So I think what we'll do is we'll say function mouse released. So every time we release the mouse, what we're going to do is we're going to say that word equals generate the next generation of the word of the L system, and then we're going to console.log the word to print that out into the console. So if we run this, we're not going to get anything on the screen, but every time we click, we should see that we get a new string. And as you can see, it's getting longer and longer. And each time I press it, it gets even more complex. So you can see even just in, I think I clicked 4 times, you can get some very complex strings coming out of this, and it can generate a lot of complexity. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read through these all and verify that these are correct, but what we are going to do is we're going to visualize these characters, and we're going to see if the picture that we get matches this one on the Wikipedia article. So, down here in the Wikipedia article, they've got a bunch of rules that dictate how we're going to draw these characters onto the screen. So, we'll start off with just a few of them. And as you can see, they've got things like draw forward and turn right and turn left. And if you've done much P5.js before, it's not really how you might usually use it. So usually if you want to draw a line, say, you would have a start position and an end position, and you draw the line between those two. So what drawing forward means, and how we can achieve that in P5.js, is we can draw a line, and then using a function called translate, which moves the origin, we can move where we start drawing next time to the top of that line. And so we've essentially drawn and also moved to the end of that line. So what that's going to look like is, along with the rules, we're going to have some draw rules as well. And we're going to map the characters in a very similar way as the rule set. We're going to map them, though, to a function that will carry out the drawing that we want them to do. So f is going to map to a draw forward function. And so, like I was saying, that means that we can draw a line from our start position, and we're going to draw it upwards. So 0 on the x, and then some length on the y. So we're going to define that length now, and we'll set it to 3 to begin with. I have no idea if that's going to be the right length. And to draw upwards, we need to draw in the negative y direction. So -3 length. And then we also need to then, like I was saying, move where we're going to start drawing from next time. So we're going to translate to the end of the line, which is at 0 and minus length, like that. Then we also, as you can see, we've got a turn right and turn left. And very similar to the translate function, we've got a function called rotate in P5.js, which rotates the whole screen in terms of how we're drawing. So if we draw a line straight up, and then we use this rotate function to say go 90 degrees leftwards. Even if we say draw a line up, it'll now be going to the left. So we want to do that for, I think, the minus character, and we'll map that to a function. And we have to move an angle, which is defined as 25 degrees. So we're going to say ang equals 25. Now, P5.js works with radians, and this angle is in degrees. So we're going to have to translate from the degrees into radians. And to do that, what we're going to say is pi divided by 180, which is the conversion between degrees and radians. And we're going to multiply that by our angle. And then we want to do the same sort of thing for the plus sign. Actually, I think we want to make the -1 minus angle and the +1 plus the angle. And then x doesn't have a drawing function at all. And then we've just got these two brackets to go. So as you can see, it says the open bracket corresponds to saving the current values for position and angle, and the closed bracket restores them back to this save point. Now, thankfully, P5.js already handles this for us, and it handles it for these translate and rotate functions. So what we can say is, if it's the open bracket, we want to use the function called push, which pushes all of this information into the save state. And then when we've got a closed bracket, we want to use the pop function. So to draw them, all we need to do is loop through the word and find every character. And if that character is in the draw rules, we want to execute the function that corresponds to that character. So we'll say for let I equal 0, I is less than the word dot length, I++, and what we can say is this is very similar to the generate function, but we'll say let c equal word I, and then if c is in our draw rules, what we'll do is we will call the function that in the draw rules. So draw rules c, and then we just want to call that function. Okay, so I guess we might try running this, but first what we need to do actually, so as you can see, the drawing starts at 0, 0, which is the top left corner of the screen. So if we start drawing this, it's going to draw up and off the screen. So first what we need to do is use this translate function to actually move the starting point down to somewhere at the bottom. And as you can see, this this image sort of leans to the right a bit. So what we might do is, before we even start drawing, is we will translate to the bottom of the screen. So the bottom of the screen is the height, but then on the X, we might move in off the side a bit. So we might say width on 4. So we're going to come in a quarter of the screen and go all the way to the bottom as our starting point, and it'll draw up from there. And I think also the angle starts at 25 degrees. So what we can also say is we'll say rotate by pi divided by 180 times the angle, and that should keel us over a little bit. Okay, so one last thing we're going to do is, if we did this currently, it'll just keep drawing and drawing and drawing, but we don't actually need to do that because the image will only change every time we click the mouse. So I'm going to say no loop in the setup, which just means only call the draw function once, and then in the mouse released function, we can just call the draw function to just redraw it only when we need to. And then we might also, just to be safe, push the translation and rotation at the start, and then we'll pop it again at the end. So if we run this, we get an error. So, okay, so these draw rules are using functions that are inside P5.js, and they don't really exist until after the setup function's been called. So what we might do is we'll just move the definition of the draw rules inside the setup. So we can say draw rules equals that. And I'll just make sure it's indented properly, and we'll try that again. Okay, so every time we click, we are seeing something, but it's not quite right. So as you can see, we're moving the angle in the wrong direction. So counterintuitively, if we have a minus, we're going in the positive direction, and if we have a plus, we're going in the minus rotation. So if we run this again, every time we click, you can see the L system is getting more and more plant-like. And I might actually just drop the length of this to 1 pixel, and then we should be able to fit a whole bunch of generations of this L system in. So you can see that that quite closely resembles the L system on the Wikipedia page. Now, there's a million different things you can do with L systems. If you look at the Wikipedia page, you can see there's a bunch of examples in here. So you might want to try implementing some of these yourself. But we can also do things like, for example, with our tree system here, there are certain things that can make it look more tree-like. So for example, you might expect the branches to be brown and the leaves at the very tip to be green. Now, in order to do this, what we need to do is we need to know when are we at the end of one of these little leaves. And thankfully, it's when we're popping off the stack. So this close bracket here, that actually means that we've reached the end of the line and we're going back to some previous state to branch in a different direction. So what we can do is we can say, instead of just only calling this pop function, before we pop, we can actually draw in a little leaf. So I might just bump this length up again and call the pop function properly now. And then what we can say is inside here, we want to draw an ellipse. Well, actually, firstly, what we want to do is we want to make the color a green color. So this will be the color of the leaf. So we'll say fill, and it will be no red, all green, and no blue. And then we can say we want an ellipse. And remember, because we've been using this draw forward sort of logic, we can just make it at 0, 0, and that will be at the tip of the branch, and it'll be rotated in the right direction as well. So we'll say 0, 0, and then we will want a size that is, I'm thinking an oval leaf, so we're going to have the width on the x-axis not be too big, and then it'll be a bit longer in the y-axis, so I might make it 5 in the y-axis. I have no idea if these values will work. And then when we're drawing the branches, so we've made the leaves green, but when we were drawing the branches, we'll want them to be a brown color. So we'll say fill, and now I've got to try and think of an RGB for brown. So it'll be mostly red, I assume. Let's see, 150, 100, and 0. We'll try that. We'll see what happens. But so as we click, you can see that we've got some leaves showing up, but I think the branches are still. Oh, so this should actually be stroke here, because we're drawing lines, and then we can say in here we'll say no stroke, and that should see, when we run this again, we should see that we are generating a more plant-like system. So I hope this gives you a bit of insight into how quickly you can build up these sorts of things. Now, as I mentioned, there's a million different ways you can use an L system, and I really encourage you to explore what can be done with them. So even just on the Wikipedia page, which I'll link in the description, you can see all the different sorts of projects that you can create with this. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope you have learned something about L systems, and they open up a whole new world of how you can create graphics and generative art. So I really hope you enjoyed watching. All this code will be linked in the description, and thanks for watching.